Good morning, good morning. So, why is it so many people seem to struggle when it comes to getting a job? Well, there's one thing that virtually everybody that I come across fails to do very well when it comes to finding a job, and it's the reason that so many people struggle with the whole process. How good are you at selling? And what makes for good sales in the first place? This is James Foster and Careers Matter. Yeah, basically I'd say that probably 96% of people that are looking for a job fail to understand that the whole process is sales, is about selling themselves into the job. That they will write up their CV, they'll send their CV off to a job and expect that to do all the work for them. And their CV is basically a document that provides a few facts and figures about where they've worked and when they worked there, and something functional about the job that they did, and something about the skills that they had to have for that job. And they're hoping, and really it is about hope, that people see and understand the value that they bring in from that, and therefore invite them in for an interview. And then in the interview process, they again fail the whole process of selling. They'll answer the questions. Talk me through your CV. It's a classic, that one. Talk me through your CV. Well, I started here and I did that and I did this and I did that and I went there and I went there and I did that job and I worked with these. It's functional and there's no, first of all, there's no energy in it. There's no conviction behind it. It's descriptive. It's talking about what you've done as opposed to what difference you've made, what impact you've had, what value you have brought. So let's look again for a minute at what makes good sales. If you were to walk into a car showroom, everybody uses this as an example, and it's a great example. If you were to walk into a car showroom and you have two people that come up to you, one of the first of the guys comes up and says, "That's a great car you're looking at. It's fantastic. It goes from 0 to 60 in however many seconds. Let's say it's 5.4 seconds. Its roll holding is fantastic. And they talk about the qualities of the car, and they talk about everything to do with that car, and why you should want to buy that car. So they talk about the features that car has to offer. They talk about what would they expect is going to impress you about it. And this is all good stuff, isn't it? Yeah, we all like fast cars. Well, I don't matter, all of us, but we like fast cars. We like to look at get into something that makes us, bigs up our status and things like that. But maybe that's not what you're looking to buy. So the other guy comes up to you and he starts asking you about what it is that you are looking for from a car, and then showing you where you can get it. So what are you looking for from a car? Do you have a family? Do you need to be able to put kids in the back seat? What about picking up mum at some point, etc.? So what do you need from your car? How long do you spend it? How many journeys do you go on? How long are those journeys? How comfortable has it got to be? What about those features? So finding out what it is that you are going to buy, what it is that you're looking for getting a car, and therefore what you might pay money for, as opposed to something that's a bit of a status symbol. And that's a big difference that people don't appreciate. The functional at best is all about what skills you've got, what features you've got, when you're talking about your ability, about what you can do for a business, rather than answering the questions of what is it you actually need me to do in the first place? What are you looking for this job? Looking into the job, determining what the job needs from you, and then providing that back within your CV and at the interview process to the person that's actually doing the hiring. And that is about selling yourself. What are the benefits that you're going to bring to that job? Is very deliberately answering the question, what is it you need and I can supply to you? If you go into, if you look at the features of the job, the features of the job as described in the job description are the fact that you need so much experience within a certain environment. But what is the point of the job? What is the purpose of the job? What are they trying to get from that? What are they struggling with? What are their needs? And that's when you start looking at selling. And as I said, 95% people don't do that very well. I think, when I speak to people, a lot of guys will tell me, a lot of people will tell me, and this is and it is a good proportion, will tell me that they don't like to big themselves up. They don't like to promote themselves. They don't want to, it's almost sort of like they've had it instilled at birth that it's wrong to talk about about how good you are at doing something. I'm afraid when it comes to getting a job, nobody is going to do it for you until you, maybe, if you're looking for endorsements and things like that, you can get people who will do a little bit of selling for you. But generally speaking, it is not likely that somebody is going to come along and go, you know what, you should look at this guy here. He's done all of this. And, yeah, there are referrals. That does happen. Some jobs are filled that way. But when it comes to you getting a job, you applying for a job, nobody's doing that for you. You have to do it for yourself. You have to be obvious with exactly what you can do for the organisation that is going to help them to get what they need. And you can do it in one of you can actually do it in one of two ways. You can go to the company when you're in the interview process, etc., and ask the question, what are you actually looking for from this? What do you need me to do? What are you looking for from this job? What are going to be the objectives of this job for the first 3-6 months? Except those sorts of questions to get to understand what it is that they're driving at, what it is that's making them hurt, what's keeping them up at night. Or you can make the assumptions, and there are clever ways of making those assumptions. And that's how you're going to fill your CV out in the first place, which is looking at what the job description is, knowing yourself what the challenges of that position have been in the past, and talking about those challenges and about what you have achieved and the value that you have brought and the difference you have made and the impact you have had, and bringing that into your presentation within your CV and within your cover letter and with your recruiter, to ensure that that message gets across to the hiring manager that you're the person that they need to bring in to speak to and to understand why they should want to interview you. And in the interview, that's when you really turn to selling. That's when you really have to turn very, very closely to the value, to enhancing all of those points that you've brought about in your CV. So now when they talk me through your CV, you don't talk about this chronologically, you talk about it through the achievements, through the value, through the difference, through the impact that you've had in each of the jobs. At this particular job, this was the challenge, this is how we overcame the challenge, this is the result of all of that. And this is the difference in the impact it had. That is the way that you talk yourself through the CV. So, selling. It's all about selling. If you can't sell, you need to learn how to sell. If you're not comfortable with that, then you need to get comfortable with that. And this is something that we can help you with. This is something that I do all the time. I talk with candidates that I'm working with in recruitment process to get them to understand how to position themselves for a particular role. And I can do this for you. With this video, there will be a link. And if you follow that link, you can schedule an initial 20-minute call with me, which will be free in the first instance, and we can talk to you about how we can help you to understand the value that you have to offer to an organisation and how you can take that value into an organisation in such a way that it's going to make them want to know more about you. Follow the link, schedule that call with me now, and let's see if we can get your career to the next level. This is James Foster and Careers Matter.